So, welcome to Wolfpack. I am going to go through a solo mission, just to show you what this game's about. So, settle in. Okay, so we go play. It's basically a multiplayer game, first and foremost. However, it can be played solo player. It's a little bit more difficult, but it's certainly possible to do. So I'm going to go into... just going to make it visible to no one. Create a lobby. So we have our map of our field of operations, basically here. We have the North Sea. We're going to choose... so I might go into the Bay of Biscay. BF57 quadrant. The patrol area of operations. So I'm just going to go with an easy one for today. 15,000 tons of enemy merchant ships need to be sunk. We'll make it 1940. We'll go December. It's Christmas time. We'll go toward the end of the day. We can set the time of day here. So we'll go... we'll make it... ooh, moon's out, isn't it? Tell you what, we're going to go overcast. That'll help us to remain hidden. And we'll make it around about 6:30 in the evening. Overcast, Bay of Biscay. December 1940, start game. So loading up, we have our instructions from Donitz himself, and here we are, December 10, 1940. Alright, let's go in. So we can choose which submarine we want to go on. Let's go on 552. I like the little dancing devils. We'll go as captain. So this is where the other players can join in as navigator, helms, radio or dive officer. You can also set a password if you want, but we won't worry about that now because it's just us and we've locked the... So now we're in the ship, in the boat I should say. What we're going to do first and foremost is we are just going to bring the boat to a stop over here at the engine order telegraph. Let's take a look outside. So we go up here into the conning tower. Get a bit of fresh air. I'm just going to get rid of these little reminders. Okay, there we go. Let's have a look around, see if we can see any ships on the horizon. Now, I don't see anything obvious at the moment. So what we'll do is we will actually we'll shut the hatch. We will slide down back into the sub itself, and we will go underwater. Let's just have a look and see where the convoy is. So we have to switch to electric engines on account of the fact that the diesels will flood. Then what we want to do we open up the ballast tanks to flood in the water. Now we have actually come to a complete... no, we have not come to a complete stop. Look at that, we're still slowing down. Why have we not stopped yet? Ah, we have now stopped. Excellent. Now we open up the front ballast tanks. See, we're sort of dipping toward the back now because we only opened up the aft ballast tanks. Then we're going to want to open up the negative. If the negative is flooded, main ballast tanks flood quicker. But we're not in any real rush at the moment. So now once they're all opened, or once they're filled with water, once they're fully flooded, we should start to submerge. I did shut the hatch, didn't I? Yes, I did. Now, here's our depth meter. And as you can see here, we're going to start to go down. 7 meters. Coming up to 8. Here's our ship on the map. So I'm just going to put a little check mark there. 9 meters. Coming up to 10 meters. Okay, let's blow the negative tank. Okay, so that should, with 0.05 of a cubic meter of water in the negative tank, that should stabilize us. Alright, now before I forget, I'm going to close up the fore and the aft. Ballast tanks. Now, what am I doing? We want to listen to the hydrophone. So now we're underwater. We couldn't see anything with our eyes, so we'll see if we can see anything with our ears. So we increase the gain. Make sure the volume's up. We can increase the high pass. Low pass doesn't seem to really do anything. Okay, now let's have a sweep. So that, my friends, is the convoy. Now, we just need to hone in on their precise relative position. We do this by fiddling with the gain. There we are. So we've probably got a number of ships. Because I've selected easy, we don't have an escort by the sounds of it, which is good. So, I would say we're just dropping out there. So I would put that at let's say 255. .255 is the first line that we draw. Now, so our ship is essentially facing due north. Let's just double check that. Yeah, we're at 0 degrees, so we're facing due north. We picked up a signature at 255 degrees, which is off our port side. So just behind us. So 255 relative and 255 magnetic, because we're facing due north. So now what we do is I've set the timer. And the reasoning behind this is I want to get an approximation of the convoy's location, heading, and speed, if possible. Although all of my attempts to do this have generally been pretty woeful. Well, I get very just general approximations of the convoy's position with this method. That's interesting. Never done that before. What does that do? Yes. Oh, very good. That resets the protractor. Okay, so what we do is we've set the timer, our stopwatch. for a few minutes. And we just give... I like waiting for... 5 minutes isn't quite enough. I like going for 6 minutes. So we just take another hydrophone reading after 6 minutes. So now we're starting to get a bit of information anyway, because they were about there. Now they're here. So they're moving in a northerly direction. I don't know whether it's coming towards us or away from us. They could be coming towards us because that signal has gotten a little bit stronger. Maybe. So after 2.5 minutes, they've moved from a few degrees north. Now convoys, they're pretty slow. They tend to travel around about between 5 to 10 knots maximum. So our surface maximum speed with all of the ballast tanks blown is 18 knots. So we can catch them up. So 3 minutes and 13, what we'll do, we're about halfway there. So this is kind of the waiting game. We'll go red light because we are at night. So the reasoning behind the red light was to so particularly for the at night time. So the eyes were adjusted to the night's darkness when you went outside, because you know if you go from bright white light inside and you go out to the outside to look for ships up there, that extreme change in brightness means you're essentially night blind. But if you're with red light, then when you go outside and you're looking outside at night, then your eyes are already adjusted. So we are slightly sinking here, which is fine. We're at, as you can see, just over 13 meters deep and ever so slightly sinking. So we could actually, if we really wanted to, we could put a little bit more air back into the negative tank. Just a smidgen. And this may help us to stabilize at 13.2 meters, but it looks like we're still going down ever so slightly. Very fine adjustments. I'm using the binoculars inside here to give this view just because it's, I don't know, amusing. So there we go. Okay, now we're at 5 minutes. So what we want to do now, one thing I did forget to do on the map was to mark the time that I put that that check mark there, but I know I'm going to be going, normally I would put a time there when I actually drew that line, but I forgot because I was busy chatting. So what we do now is we start to line up and get that signal so that at the 6 minute mark I know where we are. Alright, so 15 seconds. It's 260, 61, 62. I'm going to say 263. Reset, timer off again. 263. There we go. So I'm going to put a check mark there. That's at 1838. So I'm actually just going to write here that that one was 6 minutes before. So it was, hang on, why can I not write 18? Why are you not letting me write? Maybe I need to do that at the navigator's table. Alright, there we go. I'm just going to raise that. Right, 18. It's weird. Why are you not doing that? That should be at 1832. Yeah, now it's there. Maybe that's a new bug that's been introduced with the update that's just happened today, who knows. But that was at 1832. This is at 1838. The map seemed dark. Maybe that's because I've done... that makes sense. The map is a bit dim because the red light's on. So, we know that the convoy was at 255 degrees at 1832. Then 6 minutes elapsed, and at 1838 and 42 seconds, they're at 263. So they're moving across. They're not. They could be moving relatively quite parallel to us, actually. So, in preparation for the next timestamp, the way that I've seen it been instructed to get a determination of the convoy's course is we first of all mark a checkpoint on this, which is going to be our middle reading. We should have another reading which will be up here somewhere. So we can actually start to do this. So that's 255. So from this checkpoint, we draw a line at 255 degrees. That way, and then we can continue it on that way as well. So 255 is 10, 15 degrees that way. 10, 15 degrees that way. So that's 75 degrees. So now we have a line that crosses that is parallel to this first reading, goes through. This is just an arbitrary point. It doesn't matter where this cross is. We just need a line that then goes through that way. At least I don't think it matters where it is. Now, we're at 3 minutes 15. So I'll switch that off the dotted line. So what we're going to want to do at the next 6 minute point, we are going to want to then surface and move the ship as far as we can within the next 6 minutes for the next reading, and you'll see what I mean when I do that. So the next reading, let's just estimate, will be somewhere along, probably like that, something along those lines. So then, if it's like that, then the next line will be something like that. So what I'm thinking is then it will be, they'll be traveling in that kind of direction. So then I'm going to want to draw a line there, and then the next one would be like that. So then what I'll do is I will, shit, which direction am I going to go? You'll see when I do it what I'm talking about here. I might go 270 degrees. Hard left, 270. Yeah, let's do that. You'll see what I'm rabbiting on about when I do it. Right. So we're coming up to 5 minutes. Another 5 minutes now. Okay, so they've moved along a little bit further. They might actually be getting slightly closer to us. The moment I'd put them at 270. I'm trying to get the sort of like that happy medium. I haven't mastered the art of the hydrophone yet. Okay, 5 minutes 46. In 10 seconds, we will take... I'm going to put it at 270. So... Stop, reset, start again. Map 270. Don't want that one. I want that one. We put a timestamp on it. Right, now let's... While that's happening... So we've got 6 minutes before we take the next reading now, but what we want to do is we want to go full speed, surface the boat, and bring ourselves around to a heading of 270. Turning the right or left, this is our heading. We're starting to move around. Now, we want to get up as quickly as possible. So keep an eye on this. We've got another 5 minutes. So this is where when you're by yourself, it's a tricky prospect. Alright, we are now essentially surfaced. We can kick in the diesels, so we go a bit faster. Shit, what's our heading? Okay, we're coming up to 270 now. $280. Come on. Bingo. 270. Charge the batteries, thank you very much. Now, while that's happening, I'm going to keep the tanks flooded. We're not going to go as fast as we possibly can, but we'll go about 13 knots or so. Now what we want to do is we draw the line here. Now through this one we do a line at 270. This is nice and easy, and a line at 90. Then here, cross, check mark. As close as we can to this, check mark. Check mark. Right, then we draw another line through there. That's at 334 degrees. 334 degrees that way. Then we want to draw ourselves a circle here. I want to see the distance on this actually. 2 minutes 52. We don't have a lot more time to go here. That's 422 meters. Is that accurate? 408. Pretty close. So we want to go 4. Oops. That's the distance to there. Now, the next reading would be about there based on that determination. 277. So what we want to do is actually I might go a bit further south. Alright, so that was going to be the next reading if I stayed in that position there, based on these calculations here. So these are equidistant along that line. The next one would have been there. Yes, I think that's about right. So once we get to 5 minutes, we will cut to electric engines and come to a complete stop. So, first up, we'll go half speed astern. Minutes 17, we don't want to wait too long. We're going to miss it by a little bit, but that's maybe not hugely catastrophic. We are actually reversing a bit now. Okay, let's just blow that negative. We've got 10 seconds. We are going to go over a little bit. Yep, we've stopped. Ah, quick. Damn it, bit too much, bit of water in, that'll do. Now we want to take that hydrophone check as quickly as possible. Sounds like we have actually got closer to them. That's 285. Okay, I'm going to go with 284. Put a check mark on here. $284. Now, where this crosses this predicted line should be pretty much where they are right now. Now, and we know that they're heading at a heading of 334, so we put a timestamp on that. They're heading in a direction of 334 degrees, so we put that in here. Now this, in theory, should be the direction that they're going. Now what is their speed? So that's 334, so that's 1026 that direction. So we go 1025 6 that direction. The distance between here and here is 521 meters. But that's not what we want. What we want is the time taken to travel that distance in 6 minutes. At 4 knots, would have taken them 4 minutes. At 3 knots, it would have taken them 5 minutes and 37 seconds. So that's approximately, so they're going around about 3 knots, 3 to 4 knots. So, this is their predicted course. The predicted speed is around about 3.5 knots. And distance-wise, I would say they are now around about 3 kilometers away, which is pretty close. So we might actually be able to see them. So they are off to our starboard by about 20-30 degrees to the starboard. Let's have a quick look at with the observation periscope, or possibly our attack periscope. Let's have a look at that. They're pretty loud. Onto the attack periscope. Let's look to the right. Okay, no visual, but that's alright. So now what we do is we plot an intercept course. So, over to here, let's look on our map. Now what we want to do is we want to bring ourselves to a heading of, let's say 306. Let's go with 310. 310 degrees, we'll surface the boat. Engines on full. Bring ourselves around to the hard right rudder. 310 degrees. Keep an eye on our depth. Once we get to surface depth, we will switch across to the diesels because they can access air. Alright. And as soon as you do that, always charge the batteries. What did I say? 310. Okay, coming about 300. Bingo, 310. So, let's have a look here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a line here from our boat at 310, which is now our course. So this is where I'm predicting they are going. This is my course here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a few more of these circles. So this one to here, then this one to here, then this one to here. So that was at 1852, so therefore my prediction is at 1858, then at, what would that be, 1904. These are 6-minute intervals, and then 1910. That's where I predict they're going to be at those particular points. Here I'm chugging along. Now what I want to do is I want to go a bit faster, so we're at full speed. Now make sure our fore and aft ballast tanks are closed. Let's blow the ballast. This will bring us, this gets rid of all the water from the ballast tanks, so we go faster. Marvellous. Now once we've done that, what we want to do is we want to put some air back into the system. We'll hit the compressor. Now let's up to the bridge, because we've surfaced, and we're belting along at 18 knots. So let's have a look. They should be off our port at some point. So what time is it now? It's 1858. So I predict that they are now there. Which, relative bearing to us, is around about 10, 20, 30 degrees off our port bow. So I reckon they're somewhere around about there, if our calculations are correct. Let's go switch off the compressor, which I'm sure is still running, and has yet filled up our air supply, which hopefully it has. Yes. Can switch her off. Good, stable. Alright. Come back outside. Now, let's have a look. So I predict that they're there. Now, what distance is that? That's only 1.5 kilometers. We really should be seeing them by now. See what I mean? I mean, this is where my estimations are often incorrect, but yeah, I don't know. It seems to make sense that that's what you're supposed to do, but let's come around. Now, see, if we get to this point, and we're having difficulty seeing them, then there is no shame. Come to 280. In another hydrophone check. Still no sign. Ah! There they are, dead ahead. Let's come back to... what course did I have us on? 310. Their course is 334. So I'm going to bring us to there around about 330. I'll go to 334. I think that's what their course is. There we are. Alright, now we should, in theory, be running parallel to them. So... Three, 4. I'm just going to slow us down for a minute. Try and get some more accurate readings here. So, now we need to start to get some identifications underway. What are we actually looking at? Let's have a look at that one. So, that has got king post, funnel, king post. Let's go based on that one. So, recognition manual, merchants, king post, funnel, king post. What do we have that has that configuration? It's got a split structure. It's got an amidship engine. Yeah, I reckon we'll be able to... Ooh, tough. It could be a heavy tanker type 1. In fact, that's what I'm going to go with. I think that's a heavy tanker type 1. So that's 12,942 tons. Lovely. Length equals 142 meters. Draft equals 5 meters. I'm just writing this down. Height equals 26 meters. I need to know this information. So, what I'm going to do... Shit, I'm just going to bring us to a complete stop here. Where did you go? Who was I looking at? You. Okay. So they are at about 2 notches on my attack periscope. Now 2 notches is this number here. Height is 26. So they're actually quite far. They're about 5.2 kilometers away. Or 52 centiradians. So, map. Oops. And his relative position to us is at 315. 312. So map. Okay. So that's 334. 312. So that's 60. So that's yeah. What am I doing here? $312, huh? He's way over there. They're way over there. He's at 320 and 5.2. So $320, about 5 kilometers. So in actual fact, that is, I think, where they are. And I think they are they're probably traveling at that course. So we're going to put in. I'm hopeless at this. 334 degrees. That's what I think we're looking at here. So alright. Where are we? Where are they? Ah, they're over there. So they're actually cutting across our bow, so I'm not sure they are traveling 334, so I'm going to move us around to travel in a northerly direction. Okay, so we're heading due north now. Reset compass. We're heading this direction. So I think they came from that way. Came along that way like that. In which case I'm way off with that original estimation. But like I say, the hydrophone is an estimation of where the convoy is at. What you need is... Oh, is that a passenger liner? That could be a passenger liner. So a troop ship. So I've got you ID'd. You're a heavy tanker, type 1. So you were... King, Funnel, King... King. Now let's have a look and see if we can't get an identification on some other ships around here. Oh, what's that one at the very front? It's hard when they're all kind of stacked together like that. Because you can't sort of see exactly what the masts are for the different ships. But I've got you, that's good. Basically, I'm going to fire salvos. Two ships, 2 torpedoes per salvo. So if that's correct, 12,942 tons. For success in this particular mission, all I need to do is sink 15,000. So that's another 2,000 tons, which I'll easily get with any one of these merchants. I don't see any escorts, so that's useful. As you can see here, we're just powering along in a nice, comfortable distance away from them in order to get ahead of them. I don't want to get any closer at this stage. I want to stay well and truly far away from them. Now, if I can just get an ID. Now, let's get an ID on this one. This has got Mast King Funnel. Recognition, merchants. Mast King Funnel. Engines aft. I'd say it was a composite. I think it's this one. I think it's a medium tanker, but I could be wrong. It's tricky to see. I think it's got the... Yeah, I'm gonna go medium tanker. Medium tanker type 52. That's 5784 tons. You'll do nicely. 123 length. Draft equals 6 meters. And the height is 33 meters. Because I think I can see that there. So, yeah, I reckon that's what you are. Okay. So that's the Mast King and Funnel. Right. So we've got you and you, essentially, as my two targets for today. That's definitely a passenger with 2 funnels. That could be quite nice. Let's have a look at the recognition manual for passengers. 2 funnels. Oof, tasty. Now that one's 14,000 tons. I reckon we might go for that one, actually. Let's get my little notepad ready. That's a passenger. 14,000. 528 ton. Length 165 meters. Draft equals 7 meters. Height equals 39 meters. Alright, yeah, because they're 2 leading ships, I'm going to go for them. I'll save you for later. Now, you're at about... Yep, I'll put you at 3. Distance table 3 for a height of... What did I say? 39? 3 for a height of 39 is at about just over about 5.1 kilometers. At 280. So, we can kind of see pretty much what course approximately they're going on here, which I'm going to say is more likely along the lines of 353 degrees, so pretty close to north. As I said originally, it looked like they were really, these are widely spaced out down here at the original hydrophone readings, so they were going along that way. So we are now there. They are there. I should have done a timestamp there, and then I could do a timestamp there. I could get a better idea of their speed, but that's okay. So I'm pretty happy that we're keeping a nice distance away from them. Where are we? There they are. Lots of lovely, lovely targets. Now they're all nicely spaced out, as you can see, so we could get some more recognition on those. But we're just going to focus in on this little chappy, medium tanker, type 52, which is Master King funnel, and following along the passenger ship, which, yep, that's definitely it, 17,528 ton displacement. Shit. That is not what I wanted to see. Okay, so we've got ourselves a escort. Holy crap, that was unexpected. That looks like a Flower class corvette. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to... Okay. Damn. Makes things interesting. Okay, alright. I'm not surprised, it's a large convoy. Let's bring it around to 340. Now things get interesting. That was a big, tasty convoy, so it's not surprising at all they've got an escort there. I did not pick up that that warship propeller on the hydrophone. We should be going under. Okay, we are. Alright. Now I might be being a little bit rash here by turning in and heading toward them and going under, but let's just have a look. Alright, now our lead tanker is currently at about, we'll say 3. Distance table 3 for a height of 33 is 4.2. Okay, what's our current heading? He's 340. Hey, we've surfaced. What the hell? How did that happen? This is where playing as a solo mission makes it very difficult. Because you got to keep an eye on everything. Okay, come on. Back to great speed. Let's just make sure we're not bobbing up here, because that is not good. So we are going at 340. At great speed. How's our battery? Not too bad, 8.5. As long as we're not going full speed, chewing up the battery, then that's usually good. So we do not want to engage that flower. No, sir. This is the one. This is the prize. And you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring us to half speed and get a little bit more of an intercept course here. Try and avoid this puppy. So we don't want to go too fast as well with the periscope up, because it creates this kind of wash behind it as well, and they can see that quite well. So we just avoid you, and we just want to line up against these merchants, you see. That's the idea. So we want the flower corvette to potter by. Your distance is now definitely 3, so we just bring the periscope down while we're doing the calculations. 3, so you're at 33 meters. So you're at around about 43 centiradians. Nice. But we want to get closer. If we can. Oh, I'd love to take out that corvette, but because they alter their speed and what have you, they are very difficult to hit with torpedoes, so best to avoid them. Passenger liner, you're now at 320. What's our current heading? Current heading is 320. Gosh, somewhere like this, I don't know. We're heading kind of at that angle. I don't have our position on the map because it's difficult to to do all this by yourself. So a lot of this is just simply estimations. 20. That's not too bad, actually. So if we say we're approximately here-ish or so, so that's at about 320 degrees off that way. Ah! Shit, I could have 50, 40, 30, 20, so it's kind of about sort of there-ish, I'm guessing. This is my very, very rough approximation. Okay, so we're just going to try and line up a little bit here with these first two ships. I don't know my heading now, but that's alright. So let's start doing some calculations. Now you are going to keep going to the right, which is good. This is here, so you're not too far away now. You're at about 3 and a bit. Eek! I've got to keep this periscope down, you see. That's the trick. Damn, that one's going to get in the way. Alright. I'll stop. Let's give this a go in terms of estimating their speed. Set the timer. His length is 123 meters, so we divide that by the amount of time it takes for him to go past. They're getting a little bit ahead of us now. I should have probably gone a bit further along, but that's okay. Time 35 by 2. So they're travelling at 7 knots. Alright, good to know. In which case we could... Oh, damn. Alright, we may end up going for this chappie. They are both... Who are you? You are the heavy tanker. I'm going to go for you now. 26 meters. At 3 for 26 is 34.7. Alright. Okay. Salvo. 2 tubes, slave to the attack periscope. Torpedo depth 4, we'll go 3 meters. Speed 7 knots. Range 3 at 26, 34.7. Length 142. Alright, now we just need to get the angle on bow. Where the frickin' hell were you? There you are. We are pretty much bang right. Angle on bow right. There. Okay. That's 2 torpedoes away. Now we'll just get 2 and 3 ready. Mast, king, king, mast, funnel. Mast, king, king, mast, funnel. Bang! That was easy. I thought so. That's an easy recognised one. That's a heavy tanker. Type 15. 134 meters. 43 meter height. Draft 4 meters. Okay, so we change the draft straight away to about 2. Speed's the same. Shit, which one were you? You were this one. Your distance is just about 4. 4 for a height of 43 meters. Let's say 4.2 centiradians. Just 42, so 42. Length 134. Torpedo depth, speed, yes. Torpedoes away. Okay, well, we've given it a go. We've got to wait for the torpedoes to reload anyway, so we're going to be here for a while before the more torpedoes are ready. Meanwhile, we'll just keep a lookout and see where that corvette is. There it is. We may hit something, we may not. I think my calculations were correct. Yeah, pretty sure I had the speed right. Angle on bow was pretty good, I think. How long did it say for the 4 minutes? I'm too far away, that's the trouble. But I'm a bit too far. But we'll see. I'm not liking... Looks like we're timing out. Oh, marvellous. Marvellous. That was the first one, I think. Yeah, King King funnel. Any luck, we'll get the other one as well. That was the first one, which was like 14,000 tons or something. 12, I can't remember. So now they're looking for us. Now they're worried. They would have radioed through to the escort. We're under attack. He's not on fire, but he will be sinking. Oh yeah, he's going down. That's him there. Any luck, the second salvo will hit as well. It should be around that area, but we'll see. Now we just need to make sure we stay absolutely still here at periscope depth. We do not want to move. They have no idea where we are. 12,942. Was that what we thought it was? 12,000, yep, that was a heavy tanker type 1. Ah, come on, give me a second one here. That's okay, we may have missed the second salvo. But we'll just sit here and wait for a bit. We do not want to move while they've got their searchlights on. Looks like the other... It looks like the other shot missed. That's a shame. There's the destroyer looking for us. Oh! Did you hear what I heard? There's the second one. There is the second one. That's a direct hit on the second ship. They have no idea where we are. So now we just stay nice and quiet. Okay, so that's 2 direct hits. That should get us our quota for today of destroying the enemy merchant shipping. We evaded detection by the destroyer, or by the flower corvette. Now we just need to wait for that tonnage to be registered. Come on. Mission completed, thank you. There we go. Whew. That got us 25,000. That is fantastic. Let's just keep playing for a bit. See if we can evade. So they're searching for us. If we go on the hydrophone over here, we should be picking up pings. There we go. So where is that flower corvette relative to us? He's over there. He's 30 degrees off to our... So basically, if we just turn around, I'm just going to go very slow. Or should I just stay? Should we just stay quiet like this? Tempted to stay down here. Where is he? Where did he go? Oh, he has no idea where we are. He can't pick us up. So he's using the ASDIC, which is the pinging that you can hear. And if we stay at periscope depth, we've got all the choppy waves and interference, so it's very difficult for him to pick us up at this shallow depth. However, if we went deeper, he would be able to pick us up. At least that's what I understand. See, he's searching around in vain. The convoys... they're shitting their pants. basically what I want to do is I just want to remain here, dead still, and see if he picks us up. He may do, he may not. We just sit nice and still. We're pretty much facing him. We're giving him our narrow side, which is what you want to do as well. And if we wanted to, we could move a little bit further around to the right, because it gives less of a signature for these pings to bounce off, you see. So he's moving across that way anyway, so we're giving him... He's going to have difficulty picking us up. Not to say that he won't. If he does, if we start hearing pings, then he's got us. But at the moment, we're not. And as long as we remain submerged, as long as we don't float up inadvertently... Let's just check our depth. We are slowly coming up, I think. So we most definitely do not want to do that. So we'll just let a little bit more water in. Okay, if anything, we're now going down a little bit, which is fine. Which is fine. So we'll complete this mission once. Once the convoy returns on its way and the destroyer and the flower corvette stops searching. He's still searching. It looks to me like the convoy might... Oh no, they've still got their lights on. They're still looking around. Look at them. They got no idea what's going on. We are just sitting here very, very quietly. Okay. This could take any amount of time. I wonder how many of the torpedoes actually hit. So that was a heavy type 15. That was the second one that I went for, wasn't it? So let's just have a look at the recognition manual. Heavy type 15. That was 12,537. So 12,537 plus... that first one that I went for. 12,942 equals 25,479. Is that what I got? 25,479. Yeah, so that was a heavy tanker type 42. No, was it? No, heavy tanker type 1 and heavy tanker type 15. Both at around about 13,000 tons. It's not bad. Alright. Let's have another quick little peek. They seem to have switched their lights off. I can't see the flower. Let's just put this puppy down. See if we can pick up any pings. That's the convoy. They've given up. They've given up. They're dead ahead. According to them, they cannot find us. We evaded detection by the flower corvette. We sunk our required tonnage. So that's a successful mission. I can't even see the flower corvette anymore. he's probably powered off back ahead in front of the convoy. Alright, very good. So they're on their way. If I were to continue this mission, what I would probably do is I would sneak around to the other side. Head over that way, and then come around on their left side. Try and get some nice distance between myself and that flower. But as it stands, I'd say that's a job well done. That's a couple of merchant ships taken down and evaded detection. So, let's have a look. Let's head back to port. Complete mission. So, here we have the rundown of how that went. That was 1 hour and 20 minutes. We were not detected during the mission. We fired 4 torpedoes and only 2 hit. So this is why I fire a salvo of 2 torpedoes, because it's better to fire 2 and have 1 hit than to fire 1, have it miss, fire another one and have it miss, fire another one, have it miss. Always fire a couple, if you can, which you usually can. So 2 merchants destroyed, and they were both pretty hefty targets at bringing in tonnage sunk of 25,479 tons. So we could go to next mission, do it all over again with a new convoy, but we shan't do that. We will leave the lobby, and we will call it there. So if you've made it this far along to the end, then congratulations for your patience, and thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time in another video. Until then, so farewell.